Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to be getting ready while I discuss with you my plans for my project panning journey next year. I feel like this has been weighing heavily on my heart for some time now, where I personally feel like I kind of want to cut back a little bit in my project panning journey. But I know that I feel like I do have a core audience who really loves project panning content. So I want to chat about it all today, kind of get your guys' feelings and feedback. Please go into it with an open mind if you are super passionate about only project panning content. But let's just chat about it in today's video. So if you're interested in this, get ready with me and chatting a little bit about my project panning journey, stay tuned. First, if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel and you like project panning content, I'm still gonna post project panning content. Or if you like palette themed content or just chit-chatting about makeup, chit-chatting, having a fun time, I hope you'll consider subscribing before moving on. And other than that, let's jump into the video. Good morning, you guys. I'm gonna start by doing my eyeshadow as I always do. I have already primed and set my lids. I used my NARS smudge proof, and then I just set with a lid setting shade. I am going to be mainly focused on the Urban Decay Stone Vibes eyeshadow palette today. I am working on my second episode of my Imageddon series, and I need to get through the letter U in the alphabet. So I have all of my Unearthly palettes as well as my Urban Decay, and I need to get going on my Stone Vibes. So I do work today. I think I'm gonna focus mostly on the shades Meditate and Tiger's Eye. These are like my two favorite shades in this palette, but I am also obviously going to use the matte shadows. Is Good Karma? I could have used Good Karma to set my lids. Anyway, I'm gonna start by going in with the shade Hex. I probably won't talk a ton about like what makeup I'm actually doing. I'll do my best to list everything in the description box down below, but this video is not necessarily focused on the makeup, but rather I want to have a discussion with you guys about my channel and what project panning specifically is going to look like for me going forward into 2025 and beyond. I feel like for the last several years, I have found that I'm not as excited about my projects as I used to be. Sometimes like at the beginning of the year, I'll be excited obviously because it's a new year, like new projects, etc. But I really find that around like the April-May mark, I kind of like lose steam, and I never know if it's like, okay, we've been going at these products for several months now, or if it's something else. And I really feel like a piece of it is that I have been project panning for so long now. My first, I think, year-long project pan I started in 2018. So 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, I was gonna say 6, but we're already at 7 full years of project panning. And I really feel like for the most part, I've learned all that I am going to learn from project panning, from the pans or from the projects that I've already done. And I'm just kind of feeling like I'm not, like I used to get so excited to update on my project pans and just like about my projects, and I just have found even like whole collection project pan, I will still say I do really enjoy doing deco panning project pan, but even like whole collection project pan, I'm just like not excited to film those videos, not excited about that content anymore. And so I don't necessarily want to be making content that I'm not excited about, because if I'm not excited about it, if it's not already, eventually that will like start to come through on camera. And I don't want to make content that I'm not excited about, because that's not fun for anyone. I don't want to abandon project panning completely. I definitely still plan to do a year-long rolling project 10 pan, and usually in that I have like one product out of each category. So that kind of limits, so that means that I won't be working on like 8 blushes at the same time or anything like that. Like at one point in my panning journey, I was doing so many projects that I was working on somewhere between like 40 and 50 products at a time, and that's just like not fun. Like it just really kind of takes the fun out of it, and I just kind of want to like enjoy my collection organically. I feel like that's another piece of where this is all coming from. However, I do know that I feel like the majority of my content for a really long time was centered around project panning, so I also don't want to like completely abandon the audience that is here for project panning. So I kind of wanted to just like tell you guys where I'm at with each of the projects. Gosh, I cannot ever keep all those words straight. Kind of just let you know where I'm at with each of the projects, and then I want you guys to let me know in the comments below like what you want to see stick around versus what you want to see go. And then if there's any content you're interested in seeing on my channel next year, whether it be new content ideas or just like things that you want to see continued, I would also like that. I do want to like continue to focus on eyeshadow palettes. I've had so much fun the last like 2 months filming these like dedicated eyeshadow palette reviews, and I feel like that really is kind of like where my heart is at. I've, you know, said for a long time on my channel that eyeshadow is a heavy focus on my channel, and I really kind of want to lean even further into this because I have had so much fun this year with indie brand eyeshadows and just like, you know, it's kind of stepping outside of my comfort zone with eyeshadow, doing looks that, you know, are definitely not looks that I would have felt comfortable doing even probably like last year, 2 years ago. So that is something that I definitely want to have as a focus. I do want to get back to like my eyeshadow palette tournament. I basically completely abandoned that. I do want to still finish that this year. I need to wrap up that because that would be silly and stupid if I started an eyeshadow palette tournament and then just like didn't finish it. That would be a complete fail. And that's something that I'm interested in doing next year again. And I kind of wanted to do like potentially like an indie only eyeshadow palette style tournament. If you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, I will link the series down below. But that is another, like that's a series I really want to do again next year and possibly do it like twice with different little twists. And I also was thinking like I would want to be getting back to more frequent shop my stashes and kind of do it similar to Sarah Rose, where she like picks products and then does a get ready with me with those products. I was thinking if I do kind of go off and don't do as many project pans, that I would really try and do bi-weekly or at least every 3 weeks come and do like a different shop my stash rotation and a get ready with me with those products, because that is kind of where I'm wanting my focus to go, is using more of my collection as a whole. So that is like kind of another thought, just so you guys can kind of like see the vision of like what I have in mind for my channel. I feel like I just keep going back and forth with these shadows. So my rolling project 10 pan, as I said, is going to stay. I still want to do some panning. I mean, I still do enjoy some panning, and rolling project 10 pan is nice because I have complete control over which products I choose, and in that project I will still focus on like finishing products up to completion. I feel like I've gotten pretty good at motivating myself to still complete products, and I think even if I step away somewhat from project panning, I think I will still find myself organically emptying out makeup products. So I'm not really concerned about that. The whole collection project pan. So I'm so torn on this because this video typically does well on my channel, and I again don't want to like completely abandon something that you guys enjoy. So I was thinking if you guys are okay with it, I might go away from it and just not do that series. But then I'm like, oh, I feel like a part of me would be kind of sad to not do the whole collection project pan. So my other thought was I could do like 5 products. I will say, I know like a lot of panners don't mind doing just like product usage goals. I just do not get motivated by product usage goals that much. Like, it's just not something that I really enjoy doing in my panning journey, and I know that's going to be different for everyone, but for me it just does not excite me. And so if I did the whole collection project pan, if I did it, I was thinking I could do 5 products, but it would be like products to complete. I also wouldn't mind not doing the whole collection project pan at all, but I want to know what you guys think, like what the majority of you think about that. And then Deck of Panning I am gonna keep. Deck of Panning I think is really fun. Emily was the creator of Deck of Panning Project Pan, and I love Emily. So obviously I would want to do it to support her regardless. But I do really enjoy that for just like a fun thing to do. And that is a project, like if I could do usage goals, maybe I will do some usage goals sprinkled in with some goals to complete. I don't know why this eye is not coming together like I want, but I can clean it up. So I do still plan to do Deck of Panning. Ugh, there is something about this eye that is not coming together. What is happening? Graveyard Project Pan, I don't know. I'm thinking about that one, and that one's only like a 6-month commitment. And I'm like, I could just focus on like products that already have pan in Graveyard Project Pan next year and try and like expand the pan of products that already have pan. I still want to like try and complete makeup products. This is not about like not caring any longer about finishing makeup, but I just don't know if I want to do it in like as heavily focused project panning. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. I am still planning to do some variation of makeup rehab, but I don't even know if I'm going to call it makeup rehab. I'm going to do something where every month I come and share with you all of my PR and all of the beauty products that came in, as well as my empties. But I don't know if that I'm even going to track like a beauty bank. I feel like I'm feeling a little burnt out by that. So I don't know that I'm going to track in a beauty bank style, but you will still get a monthly video with like ins and outs. Okay, in terms of like eyeshadow focused, I did start to do like a very relaxed pan that palette with the ABH Jackie, and I told you guys I would just update you when I felt like I had decent usage, and it wouldn't necessarily be like monthly updates. I was hoping for bi-monthly updates. It might even be every quarter. So just like a very relaxed pan that palette with the ABH Jackie. And then my No Pan Left Behind. I do still want to do No Pan Left Behind, or I believe last month I renamed it to kind of like Eyeshadow Diaries, where I just come on, share with you the palettes that I have hit No Pan Left Behind, and then looks with that. But I want to get away from doing random, unless I do like maybe 2 random a month. But my thought with that is I love to test and try new eyeshadow palettes, as I've been saying, and I also want, like I just said, I want to continue to do like palette reviews, etc. And so while I was doing No Pan Left Behind with like 4 or 5 random palettes this year, I was finding that I was falling behind on new palettes that I was trying to test. And now I'm doing this Armageddon series, which I'm so excited about. And once I finish it, I want to like start over and do it again, because, you know, as the years go on, your preferences do change. And palettes that I used to love, I definitely am like, oh, I'm kind of like, my time has ended with these, which the Armageddon series is going through my entire eyeshadow palette collection and deciding what I want to keep versus what I don't want to keep. It was inspired by Kat and Haley. Both of them have very similar style. I don't even know if you'd consider that a project, just similar style videos that they did. And I was like, that sounds really fun. So I kind of like, in my Armageddon series, the palettes that I'm like, that are on the chopping block, which is every palette until I go through and test it, I'm trying to go through a No Pan Left Behind. And I'm trying to go in alphabetical order with these with the Armageddon series, reverse alphabetical order. So I was just feeling very overwhelmed when I was doing like randomly generated palettes for No Pan Left Behind, and then I was also trying to test these palettes in alphabetical order, and then I also have these new palettes that are coming into my life. So I think I will still do like a No Pan Left Behind, but it's going to be kind of just like an Eyeshadow Diaries and me sharing with you the palettes that are complete, because I have been loving doing this No Pan Left Behind style of situation, because it really does kind of just give me better insight on whether or not I really like a palette as a whole, or if there's just 1 or 2 shades in the palette that I like, and that's the only reason I like the palette. So I do still definitely want to continue to do No Pan Left Behind in some capacity, but I think I'm going to do it as I did last month, and we'll do again this month, where I just kind of share the palettes that I've completed and the looks that I created with those palettes. The shade Meditate is not applying quite as well as I feel like it used to. That's the thing about this palette, is it's definitely getting old. Also, I've seen people hit pans so easily on this palette, and I've used the heck out of some of these shades. Maybe it's because it's kind of like a spongy texture, kind of like a ColourPop Super Shock, but I have not been able to hit a pan on any shade in this palette, and I feel like I've used this palette quite a bit. I love the shade Tiger's Eye though. It has this really beautiful kind of golden sparkliness to it, but it does have like pink glitter flecks running throughout. So does Meditate. Those two together are really pretty in my opinion. Oh, we're gonna call the eyes good for now, so we're gonna clean this up. I think those are all of the current projects that I do or like consider doing, right? I think so. I've also seen, oh my gosh, some this year, some like rendition this year, but I can't remember who like originally started doing this, but they were doing like a rolling project 10 pan or a rolling pan, and they had to like complete, like they had to like finish a primer, and I think the person doing this had to like finish 10 products before they could buy like a primer or makeup. I thought about that and I'm like, I don't necessarily think I want to do that, although it could be like really fun. I do also plan, oh, I forgot to say, I don't know if the video has posted yet. If it hasn't, it's coming. I'm going to do like an everything but makeup style project pan. I feel like I've gotten a couple of requests to do this, and I talk a lot about just like trying to get through my current skincare like backstock situation before I really like go into creating like the perfect skincare routine for myself. And I have just like some fragrances as well as some body lotions that I could focus on. So I wanted to do like an anything but makeup style of project. Maybe even just for like 6 months, or I don't know how long we'll end up doing it. Maybe I'll really like that. Maybe I could choose like a nail polish to work on or something like that as well. But I kind of want to do that. So I was thinking I could do a project like that. I don't know if that'll be a popular project or not, but I feel like it definitely could help me out. So that is another project that I do plan to do. I just don't know like how long I'll end up doing that. We'll see how well that pan or that project works out for me. But that is something that I do plan to do. But that's different because I don't feel like I'm gonna be like rotating, like I don't have as much to rotate through in those, whereas like if I'm focused on 20 to 30 products of makeup, like I just feel like so much of my actual makeup collection is getting neglected. I feel like I'm like I keep pausing to drink coffee and I don't have like a ton to talk about. I'm like, girl, do your makeup and get that done while we talk. So those are my current thoughts. I would love to know what your thoughts are. Do you only like project panning content? Do you like a mix of both? Is there a specific project you are like super passionate about and really want to see? I would love to know. Like I said, I just personally feel like at this point I would be happier filming more frequent shop my stashes and even get ready with me's, just using my collection, not even necessarily using like new products, but using my collection, but not using the same product over and over again. over and over again. Like I feel like I have to be successful in my project pans. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm so like over the products that I'm currently like panning. And I don't really think it's like I'm over those products specifically. I think any product I put in a project pan, I just am not feeling as motivated to reach for the same thing over and over every day. It's just not what's sparking joy. I was not thinking that I liked the way that this eye look was coming together. Like I feel like I was frustrated, but now I'm like, okay, I think this is really pretty for like a fall time look. I'm gonna add a little bit of cream bronzer before I put powder down. Okay, I feel like lately I'll like be putting bronzer on and I feel like I'm like way too heavy with my bronzer, but then I'll go to film and I'm like, wait, it looks like I am an absolute ghost. It could be, you guys, I have not self-tanned in months. Do you guys remember when I used to self-tan like every 3 to 5 days? That's not to say I'm not going to self-tan at all like this winter, but I have not felt as motivated or felt like I needed to self-tan as much. Now granted, I did definitely get more color this summer than I normally do, which honestly makes me so happy because that means that I was spending time outside doing all the fun activities this summer. But definitely been feeling a little bit pale lately, but not feeling like I need to instantly tan. I would like to know if you guys used to be like heavy project panners and then like took a break from tanning or stopped doing projects. Did you feel more excited about makeup? Did you feel more like liberated? I just feel like I feel as though I could have so much more like excitement for like creating different looks, and I feel like for the longest time I was so like dead set on having to do the Pan Those Eyeshadows project, and then I switched over to No Pan Left Behind, and it just like it invigorated this new spark and passion for eyeshadow palettes that I had not experienced before. Like, I used to think I could never create a whole eyeshadow look using just one palette, and now I think there's just such a like there's fun to be had to like only have one eyeshadow palette and have to create a look just using the one eyeshadow palette. What a novel concept, right? And it has sparked this absolute love and creativity for me within like doing my eyeshadow, and I'm like, I feel as though I just don't want this, I don't want to say barrier on me to have to use specific makeup every day, because obviously I can be project panning and literally do whatever I want for my makeup every day, but I just think it'd be really fun to not be as heavily focused on as many products. So I hope I am not like upsetting people with this. Again, if you only like project panning content and you're only here for the project pans, I can understand why it would be frustrating. But I also have to do like what's right for, you know, myself and what I'm feeling. And it's not to say that I'm like then gonna go run out and buy every new makeup release and, you know, completely change the content on my channel. That is not the case at all. But I just want to break free a little bit from the project pans. I will also be curious, like if I'm not being as strict with project panning. Oh, I should do my bronzer before I do my brows. If I'm not as strict, will I reach for the same products every day, or will I really like rotate through my collection better? That would also be like interesting to find out, you know? I can't tell. I cannot tell if my forehead's totally dry or if I start to blend bronzer, if I'm going to completely ruin everything. So I should take another minute. I would say I would also be curious, like if I do say just do rolling project 10 pan next year and deck of panning, I'll be so curious to see what my makeup empties at the end of the year are like compared to years past. I will say this year I just filmed a makeup rehab update, and this year I literally just cracked 50 makeup empties in the month of October, whereas in years past I'm always over 100 makeup empties. So already this year, like I've seen a decline, but I also do feel like I have been better this year about rotating through my makeup collection. And I honestly am much happier to be using more of my collection and having less makeup empties than I am to have, you know, a bunch of makeup empties, which a lot of my makeup empties each year, like I had a lot of like mascaras and things like that. Last year I had a lot of lip products. But to have less makeup empties, but to be using more of my collection, I would take that any day. Okay, we are looking like bronzy today. Yay. I love to be bronze. I know it's not for everyone, but I'm like, oh, I love to look like I just got back from vacation. Although I do feel like we're looking not the most blended on the forehead. Before I go in and do my brows, I'm gonna put a little bit of highlight down first. Okay, so I have this new highlight from Natasha, or not, it's not super new, but it's new to me. It's the what is it, the Gen highlight. It is almost like, the way that it picks up on a brush, it almost looks like it's like a, oh my gosh, what am I trying to say? Not a powdery texture, almost like a cream to powder texture. And I will say, like on the face, I've been really enjoying the finish that it gives, because it's like kind of intense, but at the same time, it is just like a glow rather than being like this stripe of powder on your face. I don't have my blush on yet, so you're not allowed to judge it yet. I'm gonna do my brows quick. I cannot talk really while I do my brows. Well, I can, but then it's not a good situation. And like I said, I do go to work. I should go wake my daughter up because it always takes forever for her to get ready for, well, I shouldn't say for her to get ready for school. I should say for her to wake up and be ready for school. I hope that I've been making sense in this video and like completed a thought, but sometimes I'm like get to like towards the end of like filming and I'm like, wait, did I even like make sense at all? There we go. I think I thought I was trying to say but maybe didn't complete is if you are only here for the project panning, that's where I'm like, I'm not trying to like completely like abandon, you know, some of my core audience. So I do still want to do some panning, but I have to like, you know, people grow. There's room for growth, and I just feel like I'm reaching this place where I just want to enjoy my makeup collection a little bit differently. And if you are not about that, you know, you are allowed to unsubscribe, you are allowed to not come back, or you can just come back for the, you know, few pans that I do, but you never know, you know, new content could be fun. Like I said, I do really want to put a heavy focus then on still shopping my stash. Like I still want to cycle through my makeup collection. I just want to be able to use more of my makeup collection. So you know what, maybe you could come back and have fun with some of the shop my stashes, more get ready with me's. I think it'll be fun to kind of interact through more like actual get ready with me's. If there's any like specific topics you would want to talk about, like that could be really fun. I am really liking the way that this look is coming together for just like a neutral fall look. I really like it. So let me know what you guys are thinking about this in the comments below. Don't get too mad, you know, don't get too mad. We can come to an agreement. We can come to a compromise on what we want the content to be. I really am up for any and all suggestions and ideas. By the way, I've been absolutely obsessed with my Evil Eye palette from Hourglass. I purchased the snake palette last year because I thought, well, I like the snake, and then I also just like really thought the colors inside were beautiful, but they were definitely not like best suited towards me and my skin tone, which I should have known that going in. So I did actually end up decluttering that palette, and I was a little bit nervous this year because I was like, okay, I love the Evil Eye. I literally have it in my tattoo, and so I really wanted this one specifically, but I was like, oh, are the colors gonna work for me? And so far I will say I have if I've used the bronzer, it's only been once, but these two blush shades are so beautiful. This shade right here, it almost looks like it wouldn't work as a highlight, but it is such a beautiful, just kind of like warm golden highlight, which is a little bit different than a lot of the other highlights I have in my collection. It's definitely not going to work every single day as a highlight, especially as I am, you know, more fair. I do kind of want to just use a little bit like right there. But what was I saying? Oh, it's so pretty. And then we have two other kind of finishing powders. This is the one thing that I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna get use out of this right here, but I also love the kind of finishing powders for Hourglass. So I'm excited to have, what's the one I have? I have Soft Light, which I don't know if I have ever used Soft Light before. The other one I had was maybe Luminous Light. Anyway, I'm so glad that I picked that up. All right, let's see. I'm gonna do a little bit more on the lower lash. So I'm really excited to be getting through this palette because this is like the last palette I really have to finish for the next episode of Armageddon, which that video was received so well, which makes me so happy because I had so much fun like putting that video together, and I'm so excited for the next episode. Although I will say, I'm not sure, like, I'm like, I don't know if there's anything I want to declutter, which, you know what, I'm not going to declutter just to declutter. That's great if I love my eyeshadows, but I'm like, oh no, I'm just gonna take the shade Good Karma out of this, and I hope I have Good Karma today. Okay, that is pretty as an inner corner highlight because it's not like a stark white, but it's also not like the most intense, like it's not like a shimmer. I will say I would keep this palette for this look alone. I'm so pleased with this. Not that that is what this video is about at all. Speaking of panning, I better use my ColourPop lip liner today. I really want to finish this lip liner before the end of the year, but I don't honestly know if it's gonna happen. I'm gonna use it kind of all over the lips. I was comparing like my line markings. Why do I talk while I put lip liner on? I was comparing my line markings and like doing that thing where like I measured like what I've done so far this year, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna finish this year. unless I literally kick my butt into high gear, but I've been really enjoying Wherever Walnut from Makeup Forever. And I've reached for my Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat in Iconic Nude a lot lately. And I'm like, girl, can we just use this every day to get through this and then just have fun with lip liner next year? Not that I don't love this color, like I absolutely do love this lip liner. But I just have not been reaching for it as much as I need to if I want to finish it off. Ooh, should I do, okay, we might hate the way that this looks. I'm gonna use this, oh my gosh, I don't know what this brand is called, because, okay, there's a sticker on this that says The Flower Child. It says Daisy Lip Tint. Oh, from Pout and Poppy. Is it the Daisy Lip Tint? Is that just what it's called? Okay, I feel like this is gonna make me look like I have concealer lips, but let's give it a go. Maybe a little concealer lippy. All right, all we need is mascara then, and then we will have a completed look. I hope then that I said everything that I want to say in today's video. Like I said, please let me know how you're feeling in the comments below. I don't want to completely abandon all content that you guys want to see. Let me know what projects you're most interested in seeing. Let me know what content aside from project panning you'd love to see me do. Because you guys, let me tell you, always have like excellent content ideas. And I'm really hoping to lean even farther into eyeshadow palette reviews, because I just have had so much fun creating those videos. And so if there's ever like an eyeshadow palette you want to see me do a deep dive on, do a review on, also please do let me know that, because I do also, you know, I want to film content that I enjoy filming, but I want to enjoy content that you guys want to see or that would be helpful or useful for you. I'm so in love with the way that this look turned out. I just like the sparkle that this palette gives, and I love the shade Meditate and Tiger's Eye together. I think they're so pretty. I think we have a final look. I think for work I'm gonna add a little bit of color to the lips. It's looking a little corpsey right now, but what color should we add to the lips? Speaking of whole collection project pan, I know just what we should add to the lips. It's my YSL lip stain in the shade Tattooish 23. Been working on this little baby all year and beyond. I've been working on this prior years. There we go. We have a little bit more life left to the lips. Okay, you guys, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. That's gonna wrap it up for this Get Ready With Me. I hope you guys are not too mad. I hope you'll forgive me if you are like super passionate about project panning content, and hope at least you can hear kind of where I'm coming from. Again, let me know what you're interested in seeing next year in terms of all content in the comments down below, and I will do my best to make it happen for you. But that is gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to watch and for supporting me and my channel as you guys always do. I love you guys so much, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.